Did you know New York wasn't always New York? Back in the 17th century, this island at the Hudson River's mouth wasn't a city yet. It was a contested space, a fragile spot where trade, ambition, and territory met. European empires arrived not with cities, but with intentions. First, it was a small Dutch settlement. Then, a possession coveted by rival powers. And by the century's end, a restless port, rapidly growing on the edge of an unknown continent. This is the story of 17th-century New York. In 1609, Henry Hudson's expedition sailed up a wide tidal river, deep into the continent. Its waters rose and fell with the ocean, linking the interior to the Atlantic. When the crew landed, they didn't find empty land. They stepped onto a vibrant coast, crisscrossed by trade routes used for generations by the Lenape people. It was a quiet encounter, without grand gestures or immediate construction. But that moment marked the start of an irreversible transformation. In 1626, Dutch representatives secured Manhattan's control through a trade goods exchange. It was an agreement understandable from a European view, but profoundly different in meaning for both cultures. For the Dutch, the deal meant ownership. For the native peoples, likely a pact of shared use or alliance. That difference was never resolved, and the colony was built upon it. Building New Amsterdam wasn't an orderly or quick process. It was tough, physical, constant. Settlers felled Manhattan's forests with hand axes. They dragged heavy logs through mud, transforming wood into homes, storehouses, and defensive palisades. The air was thick with smoke, sweat, and effort. Each structure was a small victory against the environment. They didn't build for comfort. They built to survive. That same year, Fort Amsterdam was erected at the island's southern tip. A simple fortification of wood and earth, but strategically located. From its ramparts, they watched the harbor, the tides, and the Dutch West India Company's warehouses. The fort didn't just protect the colony, it declared an intention to stay. During the 1640s, years of violence gave way to negotiations, improvised councils, and uneasy exchanges of promises. The resulting treaties weren't based on trust, but on the exhaustion of all parties. This allowed the colony to rebuild, grow, and solidify its presence for a time. By the mid-17th century, enslaved Africans began arriving in larger numbers, sold by the very trading company. Their labor was integrated into the docks, farms, and homes. Without major announcements or public debate, slavery became part of the city's economic system. A silent change, but a profound and permanent one. Inside a colonial home, life unfolded in a single, shared space. A brick hearth warmed the room. Light filtered weakly through small, leaded windows. Mornings began early. Children helped with basic chores. Adults ground grain, mended nets, cut firewood, and preserved food for winter. The air mixed wood smoke, dried herbs, and the river's dampness. Nights were quiet. Low candles, prayers, tools ready for the next day. It was an austere, disciplined, and communal life. In 1664, English ships appeared off the harbor. Their cannons pointed at the fort, still flying Dutch flags. The colony was divided, and resistance seemed futile. Without a single battle, control changed hands. New Amsterdam was renamed New York. The Treaty of Breda confirmed English dominance in 1667, but history wasn't over yet. In 1673, Dutch forces briefly recaptured the city, renaming it New Orange. It was an echo of the past. The following year, the colony definitively returned to English control. By 1680, New York was growing rapidly. The population exceeded 4,000 inhabitants. Homes retained Dutch features, brick facades, steep roofs, thick beams. But new English influences began to appear. Different windows, wider chimneys. The city, like its people, was a mixture in transition. A wooden wall marked the settlement's northern limit. Where Wall Street now lies, there were once defenses. In the harbor, the great pier jutted into the East River. Barrels, ropes, shouts, and masts filled the landscape. In times of political uncertainty, the citizen militia trained in common spaces, divided loyalties, questioned authority. By the late 17th century, New York lived waiting for news, changes of kings in England, orders taking months to arrive.